Hey, what up, YouTube? All right, so okay, we're almost done with the project, but there's still a couple of things that we still need to fix in regards to what we've done so far. So one of them would be, let's see, if you come here to the blog index page for the blog, as you can see, we still have that static content. So we need to post, we need to show whatever blog posts that are available to, what you call it, within our index page. The other thing is this. So let me quickly sign in. Okay. So basically, this is our dashboard page when we sign in. Now, as you can see, we currently have the sign out button. But the problem with this is that, for example, if we go anywhere else, let's say like the home page, as you can see, we don't have any link that will send us back to the dashboard if we want to go to our dashboard. And so therefore we either have to put in the link there at the top or click the arrow the back arrow to go back to where we came from, which is the dashboard. So the other thing is that when in mobile view, we have this menu button here, which is fine. We can sign out, but still this button doesn't have the dashboard link. So we need to fix that. And then as you can see, when we are in mobile view, if it so happens that the title is long, the buttons become distorted where they don't align with each other. So still a couple of things that we need to do. We still need to hook up these two buttons as well, because if I try to click this, it won't go anywhere. So yeah, that's pretty much, I think that's pretty much it. Oh, actually no, there's another thing as well. So for example, when we are logged in, we can view the blog posts, and then when we click this button, it takes us back to the dashboard. Now, if we go to blog, we are gonna need to be able to view this the what you call it. Guests are gonna need to be able to view the what you call it, the blog posts themselves. But then if they click view and they go to where the post is, and if they click this button, it's going to give them issues, because then they can't go back to the dashboard, because they are just guests, they are not registered users. The other thing is, for example, editing and deleting, or actually creating posts and deleting posts. So let me sign out. So currently I'm signed out, but if I were to go to um, blog dot slash create, it's gonna take me to the create page, which we're not allowed to do that. And then if I were to go to editing a blog post, so let me say 3, and then let's say edit. As you can see, it allows me to go to the page where to edit the posts. So there's two problems here. People are not supposed to be able to access these pages without logging in. And secondly, only if the post belongs to the logged in user, or you can only edit your own posts. You cannot a user cannot, not anyone can, what you call it, edit other people's posts and so forth. So we need to rectify that. So yeah, there's a couple of things that we need to do. Um, so first thing, I think, let's start off by protecting the create and edit pages. So now to protect those pages, we need users to be signed in order for them to access them. So there's an easy way to do that. So for example, if we come back, let me just close some of these files here. Let's leave that. Let's leave that. Okay, let's go to the web.php file, which is located in your routes folder, web.php. So if you remember, with um, the dashboard page, users cannot access this page without logging in. And the way we did that was by basically chaining the middleware method and adding the auth middleware name um, to this particular route. So the idea here is that the middleware page, the middle, this is a middleware that comes with Laravel by default. If you check under the what you call it, I believe it's the kernel, right? So if you come here, as you can see, this middleware is registered here within the kernel file, and this is where you get the name auth. So the name, so this name auth is what you call it, is represented by this class, authenticate class, which is you're gonna find it here within the middleware folder. And then if you click in there, so basically it checks to see if a user, or what you call it, what it does is that if a user if the user is not logged in, it will redirect them back to the login page in order to access that page. I think also there's something else I need to show. Kernel, um let me see config. Is it config? I think it's config auth. uh, okay, I can't find it. Well, in any case, what I was trying to explain is that with this middlewares set in place, you can protect your routes so that if a user wants to access a certain resource, they'll have to log in first. Otherwise, they'll have to register if they don't have an account. So this one, you get it by default with every Laravel application. So we can do the exact same thing to the edit and create what you call it, all the other routes that we want. But unfortunately, we can't keep chaining the auth middleware to each and every one of those routes. We are repeating ourselves way too many times there. So the best thing we can do is we can set this up within the controller. For example, if I come here to the post controller, at the top, we can set up a constructor to register that particular middleware. So to do that, we say public function, and then underscore construct. All right, and then in here we're going to register that middleware, right? And then in here we're going to say auth. Now with this, we basically have protected each and every route that's registered here within this particular controller. Now, but then there's a big problem. So for example, by doing this, if I come back here, when I go to the blog page, right? Remember, the blog page is where we show our posts. So now can you see that it requires us to log in order to access that page, and of which we don't need that. In the index page, we're just gonna show the various routes that are available, I mean, sorry. The various blog posts that have been registered. And then remember, guests are supposed to be able to access that particular page to just view the blog posts, and that's it. Now, the other issue is that even the show page as well. Remember, when they click on that particular, let me just comment this line out, right? So I'm just gonna refresh and then go back to the site. So if I go to blog, remember, users, when they click on this link, they're supposed to view the blog. So for example, if I say how to make lemonade, right? They are able to, they can just come here and read the blog post, and that's it. So these two, the show and the index page, like this one, these ones don't need to be protected, because you understand. So if I were to put back um, this um, middleware registration there, um, and if I go back to this page, if I refresh, you'll see it's gonna want us to log in, and that's an issue. So now, to get around this, there luckily is there is a method that we can chain to this middleware. So what we can do is say accept, right? And then we place in an array of all the what you call it, the pay, all the methods that we want to exclude. So I'm going to say index, and then the next one is going to be show, right? So if I save that, it's going to exclude these two methods where we are viewing the what you call it, where we are showing the blog post and the index page for the blog post. So if I come back now and click, you see now it allows us to go to the index page. And if I go back to that particular post, what was it? How to make lemonade? As you can see, we are now able to view them. But if I were to go to say, let's say create, as you can see, it wants us to log in. So at least now we have managed to protect certain routes within our post controller. Now, the other thing is I'm gonna remove this link here. Um, Actually, no, we don't have to. So like I explained earlier on, right? Users that are allowed to edit any posts, they only should be allowed to edit posts that belong to them. All right. So for example, I don't think we have an extra user in here. So let's do this, guys. I'm gonna register a new user. Let's just call her Jane, and then yeah, let's just use those credentials, Jane Doe, and then her email is jd@somecompany.com, right? So if I say password and then password, as you can see, Jane doesn't have any posts, right? But if I were to go back to let's say that post that I want to edit, right? And say edit. Oh, my apologies. I'm supposed to say blog and then /3, right? As you can see, Jane can now access a post that doesn't belong to her. Jane doesn't have any posts registered within the database. So we should prevent users from doing this. Now, there's multiple ways you can go about handling this. For example, one of the few ways is, for example, if I go to the edit page, you see the submit button, right? I can put it, well, actually, it's not going to work, even if, because if the user is authenticated, they will still see this post. So the easiest way to handle this, what we can do is here in the edit method, where we are basically pulling the posts based on the ID, which is this one here. What we can do is this. We can say we can basically create an if statement. Let's say check if post belongs. Let's do this right after where we are pulling the post. We can say belongs to user, right? So we can say if let's say post, right, user ID does not equal to the authenticated user. Uh, we can say ID, right? So we can say post, if the post user ID, let me just log in and show you what field I'm speaking about. Um, right, use FLB, and let's say select all from posts/G. So what I'm pulling currently is this user ID field. That's what I'm pulling over here, right? So I'm checking if the ID from the post that we're pulling here, if it belongs to the authenticated user ID, or sorry, if it doesn't belong to the authenticated user ID, we can say um, return back, and then we can just return them back to wherever they came from. So as you can see, we're just gonna pull that method there, and then if I come back here, I'm gonna refresh. Something's wrong. If you see it loading that long, that means something's not right. But let's just see what it does. Okay, I think one of the reasons it's doing this is because remember we went directly to the URL, so it doesn't know where to redirect the user. So let's do this then. Let's say let's say redirect, the route would be dashboard, because in any case they're not going to access this page without themselves being logged in. So let's say dashboard, right, and save that. Okay, we back to the dashboard. So let me try again. So I'm going to say blog, right, and then / 3, and then edit. As you can see, it takes us back to the dashboard. So because Jane, the person who's currently logged in, doesn't have any posts, they cannot edit that particular post. Okay, so if you click create post, Jane will be able to create posts because they are signed in. All right, so at least we dealt with that. There are much cleaner ways to do this, but this is one of the simplest ways we can do it for now. All right, so now I think for now let's deal with the links. So for example, sign out, we don't have anything that takes us back to the dashboard. So let's change this. So I'm going to turn that button to the exact same thing we did over here. Let's see. Yeah, so basically we are going to take this drop down menu, right? Um, Wait, let me see, sign in. Yeah, we're going to take everything that we did here and do the same to that link. So because here, um, so what do we need? I think what we need is to say, let's just copy this link, right? And we can come, oh, sorry, we're copying this drop down class. Actually, you know what? Let's just copy everything that we did here. So this mobile menu drop down, let's copy it, right? Up until there where it says end of drop down menu. And then I'm gonna come within these codes. Actually, no. Let's just leave that. Let's just delete everything there and paste it there. So remember, this button only shows when what you call it, when the um it only shows when the screen is in a small size. So we need to change that from that. We need to change this class from DSM to none, right? So here, but let's just do this. Um, let's remove that, display none, right? And then only display when the screen is about 600, more than 600 pixels, which is this particular class here, right? Let's just change this name so that we can differentiate with what we're looking at. This is, I'm just gonna say new menu, right? So if we refresh here, so this is new menu, all right? Can you see that? Okay, so what else do we need to move? Okay, okay, yeah. So here, let's put in the name of the user who's logged in, right? So what we can do, what does the button look like now? Okay, that's what it looks like. So here we can pull in the user's name, right? So to do that, we can just pull in Jane's name by doing this. We can say auth or auth, and then user, I believe it's that, and then we can say first name, right? Hopefully that works. And let's come back here, refresh. All right, so it's showing Jane's name. The other thing I want to do is give it an icon. So we can put an icon here. We can say FA, and then user. I want to put the circle 1, margin end, let's just say 2. Let's see how it looks. Save and say, look how, see how it looks. Right. Now let's put, okay, that's fine. Right. So now I'm going to remove these two links here. Right. So we can actually we can remove one and leave one. So this one is just going to be dashboard, right? And then this is going to take us to routes and then dashboard. Okay, so let's check again. Fresh. Route. Wait, hold on. What did I say? Okay, my bad. It was supposed to be app dot dashboard. Okay, so now if we check now, we should be able, wherever we go, we should be able to go wherever and still have the link to go back to the dashboard, as you can see there. And then we also have the link to sign out. Now let's deal with the fact that this one over here is moved all the way to the left. So, all right, so uh, margin start auto, that's fine. So here, what's going on? Margin start auto. We can remove this actually. Save it. So I'm removing it from the drop down, right? So let's see how it looks. All right, so now the two home and blog links are next to the button. Now, um, okay, so that's fine. So now when we do this, when we go to mobile view, as you can see, the menu is different now. So here we need to put an extra link to go back to the dashboard. So now we can go back down. Let's change this from mobile. Um, let's let's just change the mobiles to auth. Let's just say auth. Um, yeah, let's just say auth button. Yeah, let's just keep it like that so that we can differentiate. All right, so okay, if we go back down um, to this section here where it says mobile drop down menu. All right, so this is basically this button here, right? So now what we can do is here we can just add an extra link, right? And then this one can just be dashboard. And then let's hook them up. So routes, then we can say app dot dashboard, right? I'm just going to copy this here and paste it. I'm going to do the same here. All right, so this one is pretty much simple. The home page, we just need a forward slash. And then the blog one, we're going to say blog dot, what was it? Blog dot index, right? Blog dot index. So let's save, right? And then come back here, refresh, routes, not found. What did I name? Oh, okay. This one we didn't give a name. So what we need to then change is instead of saying routes, we just have to put a forward slash, and that's it. All right. So let's refresh again, and then if you click here, and now we have the dashboard link. If we go back, let's just go to the home page, right? And then if you come back to blog, right? We have our blog post, and then if you go back, we can go back to dashboard. All right, that's simple. So now in the desktop view, we can go back to blog. We go home, right? And then if you come back here, we can still go back to the dashboard. All right, so at least we cleaned up a couple of things. So users who don't have posts cannot log in. I mean, users who don't have an account cannot access pages that they are not supposed to. And but yeah, there's still a couple of more things. So let's see. Let's fix this part here, the blog post part. All right, let's fix this one. So we're gonna come back to our application. We're gonna go to index. Oh wait, let's go back to the post controller. So in the index method, here we're gonna pull all the posts. Get all posts, right? And then here we're gonna say posts, and then equals to post. And then what we want to do is the latest posts that have been registered in the system, they are the ones that need to appear here. And then we also want to paginate this thing so that at least about 2 to 3 posts are displayed, right? So to do that, we need to say latest. There's a method for that. We're gonna say latest, and then we're gonna say paginate. Okay, so we want to paginate by 3. Okay, and then um, with uh, and then in here we're gonna just say posts, and then equals to posts. All right, so when we come back to the index page, we are gonna need to loop through. Let me just see. uh, Wait, where am I? I'm in the wrong page. uh, we are in the blog and then index page, right? Okay, so let's see. This is the image, this is the card. So we need to loop through this whole card here. Wait, am I correct? Oh yeah, we need to loop through various cards. So I'm gonna copy where it says card, right, up until here where it says end of card, right before the end of the container. So I'm gonna cut this out. Then I'm gonna say for each, right? So remember we said post posts as post. Okay, and then I'm gonna paste back that card that we cut out, right? So now, let's see. Okay, here, um, this is the title, right? It's this section here. It's this part here, right? So here we're gonna move that, right, and say post, and then title. Okay, and then here in the card text, this is where we're gonna place in the post body. So we can remove that sample text, right? And then here we will say post and then body, right? And then here is where we're gonna display when the post was when it was published. So we can remove those 20 minutes and say um, post created at, and then we're gonna chain the, I think it's diff for humans. I hope I spelled that correctly. Um, yeah, and then we will deal with the view more button. First, let's just check and see how it looks. Okay, now as you can see, it's displaying the full text. We don't need that. We just need to show a little snippet of what the post is gonna look like. So there's a function for that. So here in the post body, what we can do is there's a str facade, right? And then I think it's words, right? And then wait, let me check my notes. Hold on. I think the first parameter you have to say how many words. You have to say how many words. I think let's just say 10. And then you put in the post body as the second parameter. And then the third one is going to be a couple of dots. I hope I got it correct. So let me just refresh and see. Okay, syntax error, unexpected. Okay, where? All right. Oh, my bad, my bad, my bad. This is supposed to be a string. I hope I got that correct. All right. Okay, that's not right. Let me just check again. Uh, post. Um, one moment for me, please, guys. Oh, okay. I swapped them around. So it's supposed to be the first parameter is supposed to be the post body, then the number of words we want to display after that. So let's save, check again. All right. As you can see, it's showing the a couple of those words. So let's increase it to about 30. All right. So I think that's fine. So it's basically just showing a snippet. It's counting. It's only going to show about 30 words instead of the whole blog post, the whole post body. Otherwise, it's just not going to view. It's not going to display right. So now we can change this to to view the post. So on the button, let's just change. We're going to change this, right? Sorry, link attack dot btn dot btn g dot btn warning, right? um, Route is going to be, it's going to be blog dot show, right? And then I believe the second parameter is going to be the post and then slug, right? So remember, we are going to display the post based on the slug. That's what we're pulling from the controller. Um, where is it? We're pulling it from here. So we're using the slug to pull the blog post, right? So let's refresh. Sorry, I forgot to give that a name. Index. So here I'll say view more, right? Refresh. All right. Let's put some space between that. Um, let's say MB3. So here where we are showing the date, I'm just putting in some space between the button and the date published. All right. Okay, it's not working. Do we have a BR tag here? Let's see, MT3. Okay, that's a bit better. So now, as you can see, if you check down here at the bottom left, it's now showing our slug. So when I click on view more, it should take us to the post. So now, as you remember, this back button over here is going to take the user back to the dashboard, of which that's not going to work. We are already signed in, so it's going to be fine. When we click back, it's going to take us back here. But if I say sign out, right, and then I go to the blog post and I click more. If I say back, it's going to be an issue where it's going to redirect us to the login page where the user needs to sign out. I mean, log in. So what we can do is we can change that. So let's go to the show page, and then here we have the back button. So this one goes to the, so I'm going to copy that. Sorry, let's say if, no, auth, I'm going to paste that one back in there. So when the user is authenticated, they can go back to the dashboard. So this button will show when the user is logged in. So, but if the user is not logged in, we're gonna give them a different button. So we can copy the same thing and paste it in here. This time it's gonna go back to blog.index, right? All right. So when the user is authenticated, they'll go back to the dashboard. When it's a guest, it'll take them to the index page, right? So if I come back here to blog, and then I say view, and then I say back, as you can see, it takes us back to the index page. All right, let's deal with the image. So for the image, we're gonna come back again to the blog folder and then index. For the image, remember our image, there's a symlink. So we're gonna go into storage, then images, right? And then let's just remove, that. I'm gonna do that, and then here I'm gonna put a / concatenate, and then here we'll say post, and then we'll say image path, right? But remember, before that we have to say storage and then / so this one should give us the lemonade image that we have within that's stored within our application. All right, can you see it there? Okay, so that's our image, but it seems a bit distorted. As you can see, there's a space at the bottom there. So I just want to show you what I can do here. Okay, so we can do some inline styles here to change that. So let me see, style. Let's say height 100%. Let's start by doing that first. Refresh. All right, so now it's expanding 100%. The other thing that I wanted to add here, after the height, I'll say object. I believe it's object fit, and then we're gonna say cover. This is so that if it stretches out, it doesn't look weird. It fills the whole container. So as you can see now, it's sitting, it's aligned correctly. So when we view, we can go back. All right. So now, I think that's almost it. Let's see if oh yeah, let's sign in with Jane Doe. Jane Doe, and then password 123. Jane doesn't have any blog posts, so let's create one for her. So we're gonna come back here, and then we're gonna say, let's start with the image and see what we can title the post. So um, let's choose, I don't know what that is. Uh, um, um, let's say top 5 ideas for brunch. I don't know. All right, so let's do this. I want to go to home, the blog, No, let's just come back here. I'm gonna say lorem 100 words. I want to copy that sample text and paste it in our post body. Cut that out. I'm gonna paste it here while we work with it. Okay, I'll copy that and then paste it there. All right, so let's create the post. All right, post created successfully. Let's go back, and now we can view our post. All right, so let's go back to the index page, and then as you can see, there's our blog post. So the latest one shows up on top, and the oldest ones at the bottom. I just want to put um, some margin between the margin bottom. Let's just say 3. Save that. Come back. All right. So as you can see, we are now able to view our posts. So let's create another one for Jane. So I'm gonna go back to the dashboard. Create another one. Let's start with the image. Okay. So what do we have? We have um, how to um, make send uh, better. I don't know. And then I'm gonna paste that sample text again and then create the post. All right, so let's go back. We have 2 posts. Let's come back here. Now we have 3, right? So as you can see, we have 3 posts. Um, so I wanted to create, I want to create another one again for Jane so that you can see, so that we can deal with the pagination. So let's go to, sorry, let's go to dashboard. All right, let's create another one. Uh, let's see. Let's choose this one. And that one is ugly. Uh, all right, I'm gonna paste that and then create the post. All right, so now we should have, Jane should have 3 posts. So we'll come back to blog. There's another one there. There's the third one. Okay. Oh, okay. So now let's create the pagination. So to do that, we're gonna go. I'm gonna go right after the card here next to the for each loops. So for that, um, we need to say posts, not post, nah, posts, right? And then you're gonna say, I believe it's links, if I'm not mistaken, right? So now if I come back here, if I refresh, all right. So now as you can see with the latest Bootstrap, um, if you try the pagination thing, it's gonna look distorted. So there's something that we need to register within the service. I think it's the services class. Sorry, services folder. So we need to come back. I believe is it providers? Oh yeah, it's app services folder. So in the boot method, I'll tell you now, we need to say paginator. Let me just see. It's this one here, the second one, right? Use illuminate pagination paginator, and then here we're gonna say boot. Sorry, use Bootstrap, right? We're gonna say use Bootstrap. Okay. So basically, this should fix the way this item here looks. So if I refresh, now you'll see that the buttons are now look a little bit nicer. So that's just for those of you who are using the latest Laravel, because I know in the older versions you didn't need to do what we just did now, but the latest ones we have to, unfortunately. So I don't know if I can put in some more, uh, some space in between the bottom and the buttons there. So I'm gonna refresh again. All right. So I hope you can see the buttons there. Okay. So now, as you can see, we can paginate. So if we come back and go to the next one, we should be able to view the last or one of the oldest, what you call it, posts. So we can go back and then see one of the latest ones. And then if you click view, you'll see created by Jane Doe 2 minutes ago. We can go back and then it's gonna go to the dashboard because we are logged in. All right. So what else? I think that's pretty much it. Oh yeah, if you come back to the home page, for example, here we also need to display the latest posts. So we need to change this. All right. Okay. So now if we go to the, let's close all of this. Um, let's just close these folders here. I believe it's the index page here in the root folder. All right. So we have to go down, features. Oh yeah, this is the section here. If you guys were following along with what I was doing, um, this is the section over here. So we need to change these cards here. All right. So now, um, we only need one of them, but they need to be within the row. So we need to cut out. Let's cut out these two here, uh, up until where it says column. Right. We only need one. So we're gonna loop through the various posts that are already available. So I need to copy this column here, right? And let's see. Um, oh yeah, so we're gonna say for each, and then we want to say posts, um, and then as posts. All right, let's just indent a little bit. Okay, so images, as you know, we just have to remove that, um, and then we're gonna concatenate a forward slash, and then concatenate and say post, and then image path, right? And then here we're gonna say storage, okay? And then here is where we place the title. So here we're gonna say post title, and here we're gonna say this is the post body. Oh, by the way, we're gonna have to do the same thing we did in on the index page. So we're gonna say str, then we're gonna say words, and then we're gonna say post body, and then we're gonna say 20 words. Doesn't have to be that big, and then here we'll just put dot dot dot. All right, view more. We're gonna do the same thing where we say route, and then we're gonna say blog dot show, and then the second parameter will be post slug. All right, then this should take them to view the post. Now, initially when I first did this in the first project, this page, the index page, was sitting within the controller, was sitting within a controller. So I think we need to change. We need to change this. You know what? Let's try it. Let's try this. Um, let's try this. Post uh, equals to post. Uh, let's say latest. Um, and then I think I can say limit, and then 3. Right, I'm not sure if this is gonna work. I've never tried it this way before, so let's see. Okay, hopefully this works, but let's try it. Okay, latest, and then limit 3. Let's refresh. Okay, undefined posts that for each. All right. um okay, clearly that didn't work. Posts. Okay. Okay, guys. Okay, so I made 2 mistakes here. I forgot I made a comma there, which is incorrect. I had to put in the arrow function to say that there's posts. The value of this variable is this one here, and then here I forgot to add the get method, or I forgot to change the get method. That's why it wasn't displayed. So if we come back and refresh now, hopefully the blog post will show. Okay, so there they are. They are now displayed. So if you click here, it should take us to the blog post. If you come back, by the way, let me sign out so that we are viewing it as a guest. All right. So if we come back here, we can say view more, and then as you can see, it gives us the image, the blog post, and so forth. So when we click back, it should take us to the index page, which is where they should be in any case. So I think we fixed everything that we needed to fix. If I come back here, oh, by the way, this is only supposed to show, this link here, the dashboard is only supposed to show when the user's logged in. So let's come back to the nav. My apologies for that. I forgot to actually set that up. So wait a minute. Let's see. What is this? Sign out. Oh yeah. So we can place it and we're right above the this particular link. Um, right above where it says the drop down divider. So if we save that, come back again. All right, so it's no longer showing. So now we see the sign in and sign up blog and the home page. And if we come back like if we come back to the desktop, we can come here, click any one of the posts. You can view them still, and then when we say back, we go to the index page. We can to home, and then when you click there, same thing. All right, so um, I think that's pretty much it when it comes to everything that we needed to do. I'm not sure if there's anything else. I'll just review when I'm offline. But yeah, man, I hope oh yeah, let's see how it's aligned when we in mobile view. I haven't seen the post, so okay, so there they are. So we can put in some spacing between them. So I'm in the index page in the root folder, not the block file, right? So the column, we can say margin bottom 3, got the caps lock on. So if I save, let's see how it looks. All right, so there's some spacing there between them, even though it doesn't matter that much, but at least it's there. Okay, so um, let's see, blog. So now, as you can see, the way we structured our posts, usually the image is usually on the left when we are in desktop view, but once we're in mobile view, it's stacked on each other. So as you can see, it's already responsive as well. So even when we view the blog post, so if I come back here and say, as you can see, everything is still aligned with each other, everything is still intact, including the content itself. So yeah, guys, I think that's pretty much it in terms of what we need. Um, I think in the next video, the one thing I still need to show you, if I sign in quickly, right? So, no, not view, sorry, apologies. I'd say create post. So I still need to show you how to add a CK editor to this particular page. So I think that's all we need to, I think that's the last thing that we need to do. So we will do that within the next video. Already this particular video is already long as it is. So in the next video, we'll deal with how to add a CK editor to this form, along with adding it also to the edit form. So I think we will deal with that in the next in the next video, and then I think probably after that we should be done. Sign out now. All right, guys. So that's it for the video. Again, guys, I hope you guys were able to follow along with what I was doing. I know that sometimes I do bounce around a bit or a little bit too much, and sometimes some things can be a little bit disorganized where people can't follow. But I hope you guys were able to see what I was doing. And again, if you've liked what you've seen so far, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And I'll be seeing you guys within the next video. All right, cheers for now.